we are back with the next video, part 2 of beginning to undercoat this. Hopefully this video will be much more organized than the last. But yeah, so I don't even know what time it is, but my dad and I are gonna run up to our storage place because we have boxes of miscellaneous Corvair parts, and we're hoping to find new old stock bolts that are in like nice condition, because this is just, it's not even gonna focus. These are just really bad condition. So we're hoping to find some nuts and bolts and random miscellaneous parts that we need in the boxes. So we will catch you when we're back with the boxes. And we are back. All right, so it doesn't look like a lot, but trust me, there's a lot here. And this is only about, I'd say 40% of the parts that we brought back. Because like when we bought the car, he had like valve covers, an engine shroud. He had like 3 distributors, just a bunch of stuff. And one cool thing that I found here in the box is electronic points. But inside the box here is a stock Corvair point system. So, but I know on my car I don't have points, but I'm thinking one of the 3 distributors uptown, of the 3 distributors, I bet you it maybe has points installed, because my points literally just went out on my car. So, and then I got this. In that bag is the one that came off this car. I just hosed it down in degreaser. But the guy I bought it from said to test this one out, because this one might have a faster turning radius. And since it's off the car, we're going to test them out. And if this one's faster, then we're going to install this one. And then we got some random nuts and bolts here. Just a bunch of random stuff that we're going to go through. So I have these. And those will go right there. Obviously, I'll paint them, this part. So that's exciting, because I daily drove this in high school without any chrome there. Just a bunch of holes. Just doing a little bit of touch-up work on the front suspension here. I didn't paint this last night because I had put on some rust inhibitor, and you gotta let that dry for 24 hours. So letting that dry. And then when I flipped it over to paint the bottom, it kind of scuffed it a little there and right there, but that's okay. So I'm just doing a little touch-up. But I am really impressed with this stuff. 1 can, this is the second one, 1 can covered, I'm gonna say 99% of that, and all of my hardware here. And I just cracked this can open to do a little touch-up work, but I'm very impressed with this stuff. So, and this stuff is gonna be used underneath here. And then I also got some bed liner. I'm doing this on a budget, but I'm doing it the right way on a budget. So I have no doubt that it will hold up to whatever it needs to be held up to. So yeah, and then waiting on my dad. He's drinking his morning coffee. So gonna see what the plan is today. I think he wants to put a little bit of again, just a little bit of putty in here to kind of cover up the big gouges that we couldn't grind out. That's happening today. And oh yeah, one more thing. Let me show you. We have to, if you remember in a previous video, this is one of the places that holds on the suspension. This broke, I broke it, and then the one right there, you can see, was already broken. So only 5 bolts were holding in the front suspension. So yeah, so we're gonna weld a nut onto that and try to get that off. I also need to find a new pair of hinges, because I made a video on those and turns out they're in pretty bad condition. So maybe I can rob them off some doors that I have. So, but yeah, let's get going through these boxes. So now what did you do?
Ground the head of the bolt, and then I ground the screw, or the nut. Ground the nut. It actually, what I need to do is it needs to penetrate that and then penetrate this. So, watch out, this thing will spark.
Yeah, back up.
Damage your phone.
Yeah, all right, you're good. Go ahead. Zoom in on that. you, that expanded a lot. I'm gonna back up. In case, you know, that explodes.
Let that cool just a little bit.
I dare you to touch it. Third time's the charm.
So,
Just zoom in a little.
it's gonna spark moving.
Okay.
Oh, that's 3 times.
That is very hot. You can feel that from here. Oh, it's moving.
Awesome.
Oh, that is. Oh, yes.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna get it hotter again.
Yeah, you go right ahead. I wasn't even going to record this. That's how little faith I had. Yes, it's moving. Awesome. Boom. Amazing.
Boom chakalaka. All right.
Well, that is great news. That is a lot of heat radiating from that still.
I'm gonna try to get the other side now.
Alright, let's go. Check out over there. And now we are back on the other side of the car.
Why is it these stupid creepers roll right over a cord or a hose and then they won't come off?
I don't know, man. It angers me just as much. It's moving.
Come on, baby. So close. Ding. Wow. How that was broke.
Holy crap. I'll flip it back over here. I would, okay. Yeah, there. Wow. How did that even, is it clear up in there?
Not bad. We might have to thread chase it.
That's okay. At least we got it out.
Thread chaser.
Okay, well that is exciting because I was a little scared because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, because that is gonna get ready to be mounted here this next week when we get everything done. So shout out to you, Dad, again for your amazingness, I guess. So he's running up to the parts store quick. So I'm trying to organize this mess. We had 2 boxes. This is one of them. I'm going to try to organize all of this into one box. So the lines in between the threads, is that for like crap to fall out of?
Exactly.
Okay, that's what I thought. Good. Wow, that is...
Where's the other one?
Oh, I only got the one. That is satisfying.
Very satisfying.
All right. I think we're about to finish up for the night. I got all my extra parts put away. We finally got the front suspension off the sawhorses, so that's good to go. That's looking good if you ask me. And then, yeah, you saw that. My dad just threaded them in here so we know where they are, so that's nice. And then got this all put in here. We put on some putty. It's a little thick in some places, but that's okay. And it's going to be really thin coats. And we are back like a week later or something. Had a lot to do. So, yeah, I think today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crawl underneath and start attacking the surface rust. And that's what I'm going to do today. And maybe paint it? Yeah. And then I do need to sand that, but that just creates a lot of dust and I don't really want to do that right now. So, but that is something that I will get on. So let me get set up and I'll see you in a little bit. Oh yeah, one more thing that I want to quick say is that it's probably going to be a little hard to film everything. Seeing as how I'm underneath the car and the camera, it's going to be a little bit hard to film. So yeah, bear with me. Okay, so the steering wheel shaft was in my way, so I just quick undid it. It's just 3 bolts holding it up here, and then another 3 bolts holding it right there. And then you just unplug the clock spring wire. So here it is. Pretty kind of rusty. Probably gonna have to paint that. Well, obviously. So yeah, like I said, just 3 bolts there, 3 bolts there, and unplug the clock spring. So yeah, so that'll just sit there for a little bit, and then I'll get to working underneath. So let's see how well I can film this. All right, well, so I wasn't able to film like I wanted to. It was just a lot of work trying to get the camera positioned, and it would have taken too long to show everything, so I just went right ahead and just did it all without filming. You didn't miss much. I just wire brushed it and then wiped down everything with Prep Clean. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start in here with this stuff. You don't prime it, you just paint right over it. And but I am gonna avoid here. I know it would make more sense to cut that area out and then prime it. However, I don't like this sitting in bare metal. So I'm gonna prime it best I can, and then I'm gonna have my dad take care of that. Alright, so we got basically everything cleaned up. I just don't like working when everything's dirty like that. I mean, everything's really dirty, but you know what I mean. So now we're going to go ahead, sand this. I'm going to see how that works, and I'll let you guys know. And yeah, and then we'll talk, because I'm not sure what else I can do tonight. I'm running out of time. So let me see how this works, and I'll check in with you guys. So sanding away here, it's going pretty good. And I noticed, kind of looks like rust. And then I started investigating. I sanded a little bit up here, and I'm like, kind of looks like rust too. Moved up here, yep, that looks like rust. Moved right here, yeah, it's all nice and rusty. So that's just great. So what had happened was when I was like 17 or whatever, I don't even remember really what I did, but I apparently didn't prep the metal good enough because, yeah, so that is very discouraging. Okay, so it is the next few days after, and I'm making good progress. The only thing that's holding me back is this area here. And I was going to wait for my dad to do it because he's much better at it than me. And if he screws it up, then I can blame it on him and not myself. Unfortunately, I just can't wait any longer. So I talked to my dad. He said, do yourself a favor. You see how it's like all wiggly and stuff? He said, make it a perfect square. Make it as small as you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cutoff wheel. And right above, a little bit above where it gets bad, I'm going to cut it as small as I can. And then if I need to cut more, I can move out a little bit. But that's what I'm going to do. Looks like we got some problems on our hands. I think I'm going to have to separate the metal here and here more to expose any hidden rust. So, but on the plus side, up here looks good, so we won't need to cut up anymore. So that's good, and then I guess I won't be able to see until I kind of separate this metal. However, I'm thinking because it's so nicely clamped together there, you know, like nothing ever got down in there, that there's probably no rust. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm thinking probably just here and there. So let's drill out that spot weld and see what we're looking at. Well, I got good news and bad news. Good news is I got all the rust cut out. Bad news is little bit more than what I was hoping. As you can see, the old line was like right there, but yeah, so that's unfortunate. See if I can show you down there. All right, so we got that traced. I just used a piece of cardboard. That's what it looks like. I did overcut the lines just in case it's like too small or something. So now we're just gonna slightly dust over top of that. Then we have our imprint there. And I'll get that cut out with some tin snips, and then we'll start measuring it up and tacking it in. All right, so that took a little bit of trial and error, but no problem. So yeah, had to sand away some of that stuff, make sure it will conduct electricity. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna hold it in place with these welding magnets and just right up here, do a tack, and just work my way down. And as I go, I'm gonna bend the piece of metal to the contour of the fender. I already did give it a slight roll. It's kind of hard to see because it's like stuck in between the two pieces here. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this on my tripod and we're just gonna do like a time lapse of me doing whatever. It did sink a little right there, I'm noticing, but I can just take a body hammer here and kind of hit it out from the inside the wheel well. But I think I did pretty good, honestly. Yeah, so it looks like I don't need you anymore, Dad. Just kidding, I need you a lot on this. So yeah, so I'm gonna let that, I guess that's kind of cool. It's going on 6. I'm not sure if I want to start grinding yet. So let me do some cleanup here. Let me charge my camera a little more, and then I'll make a decision on that. So one thing that I'm noticing is it's hot, so I'm going to use a screwdriver to show you. So the patch that I welded in kind of sunk a little bit, about, I'd say like less than 1/8 of an inch, right? So from the old metal to this metal, I hope you can see that, it sunk a little bit. So yeah, unfortunately, but I'm not too upset about it. So I'm shining a giant light through, and I can see a hole there, and then a few holes here. So I'm going to plug those up, grind them down, and then I'm going to go on the other side where the inner support piece is, build that quick, and weld it to the other side. And then I'm probably going to do a very thin coat of filler, body filler. And yeah, and then sand that down. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm actually not too upset with this. And I've only been at it for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So I'm very impressed with that. I was expecting it to go way worse and have my dad have to save me. But yeah, so let me patch up those holes, grind them down, and we'll move to the other side. So we got the pinholes welded up and ground down. And then I took this piece of cardboard here and cut the shape. I need to line that up a little bit. But same thing, just going to spray some paint over it and cut it out. Then we're going to weld it in right there. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I have high hopes. All right, and we are back the next day. Kind of forgot to even start recording, but I did sand that down. That was, as you saw previously, that was pretty globbed on there, I'm not gonna lie. But I just took some 80 grit and sanded that all nice down, and it's actually really smooth now, and really not a whole lot there. So I'm not gonna prime it yet, because like I said, I found some rust, so I'm just gonna redo this whole trunk area and do it the proper way. Coming down here, same thing there. There was a lot of putty globbed on there, but most of it's gone. So got a little work to do yet, and yeah. So I'm actually really happy with that. Like, I'm really happy. So yeah, I'm gonna clean that up, do a little bit more sanding, try to get the deeper grooves there taken care of, and then I'm going to prime that and paint it. Yeah, and then I'm thinking tonight I'm going to start undercoating. All right, so quick thing, I did just quick undo the brake lines. They were in my way. Looks like there was a little fluid left in them. I'm not going to throw them away, obviously, because I'm going to keep them just in case for measurements for copper brake lines. So ignore that. That wasn't a phone number. Unfortunately, my creeper broke. So that's rather sad. The wheel ripped out. And then I accidentally cracked it the rest of the way. So now I can't even use it because it just bottoms out. So that's kind of unfortunate. I'm going to try to fix it though. But yeah. So tomorrow when I go on my lunch break at work, I'm going to swing down to O'Reilly's, pick up some more cans of undercoating, and I am also going to get the new bolts that hold in the suspension. So yeah, big things. But we will see you tomorrow. And we are back. Just got that done being undercoated. Honestly, I think I'm done. I think I'm done undercoating. That is so exciting to see. Looks great. I'm very happy with it. I'm not going to touch it. Probably won't touch it for a few days because I'm just going to let it cure the best it can. So it's just really exciting. Really excited for that. Got my brake lines here because, like I said, going to the parts store tomorrow. Going to buy exactly what I need. All right. So, shout out to Dad again because he's the one running the lines. So, of course, we got the coming out of there, runs under here. And then we did, instead of a 90-degree bend, just running to the end there. Maybe I can do some, like, graphic and showing. So running straight to a 90-degree bend and then another 90-degree. We did a 45-degree bend. And then, ow, I just hit my head. Ow. And then coming out of here, over and down. And this, I forgot I had these. So I kind of forgot to, like, sand them and paint them. So we only have these on here temporarily to just keep everything in line. So as soon as we're done, we're going to be taking those off. So that, and I'll show you the other side. But first things, some time ago, the guy or someone before me who owned this installed an electric pump, and they did a horrible job cutting that out. Not very good. And so it says flow right there. It says flow. So we have this line here where the tank will basically gravity feed down into the pump, up here, into here, into there, and then run down there to the back of the car. And then this goes into the sending unit. Right there is a ground which goes there, and then this wire and this wire right here need to be reconnected. So that's the lowdown on that. Look how pretty that is. That just looks so satisfying. I'm also going to quick touch up right there and right there with some black paint. And then we just come back over here and we have the lines again, you know, coming from there into here. And again, that needs to be sanded and painted. So we'll do that at a later time. And then after that, come over here. We got the gas tank here. I don't remember if I showed you guys this, but I sanded it down, painted, primed, and then I took the undercoating or the bed liner and just did like one coat. I didn't really put a whole lot of like time and effort into it because the tank is in like really nice shape. All right, so if that looks wet there, it's because it is. Did a little touch-up work there. Got the gas tank screwed back in. No touch-up work there too. Go back together. Me too. And look at that. It is like 95% in. That's what I'm gonna call it. That took, let's get some light in here, took significantly longer than what it was supposed to. I'll have to fact check it, but I think it took like a month ago, I took out the front suspension thinking this would be in like later that week, probably a month and a half ago. And it just took a very long time. So we're not quite done yet. Like I said, I am going to, I'm holding the light there, repaint those things. I need to get new bolts for those. We need to get the connections that go from here to here. Not even sure where I'm going to find them. I think because of all this COVID-19 thing going on, I don't even think Clark's is technically open, but I might be wrong on that. I'm having some problems getting the steering box back in. Yes, I was going to install it like that. And I was like, you know what? I just want to get it done and get it in, but it just sticks out like a sore thumb, it not being painted. So I'm gonna like heavily degrease this and paint it and do it the right way. So I unfortunately have to work tomorrow, but I have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off, and so my dad and I will be definitely kicking butt on this. So going back here, got all that. You saw me screw that in. I mean, that just looks great. You can't deny that. Again, with that, we still have some stuff to do here with the fuel system. See this cord dangling there, and then right there, the red one. My dad wants to properly solder that together, so I'm gonna let him do that. So, all right, and it is 7. Whoops. Okay, as I was gonna say, it is several days later, and doing some work to the Corvair. And in the previous video, you saw that we basically got the front suspension back in, except for the looks like I'm running out of fuel here. Except for the steering box, and so it's just too greasy to paint and put back in. So my dad said, heat it up, don't get it hot, just warm it up, and then put some degreaser crap on it. I hope you can hear me, it's a little windy. So that is what we're gonna do, and once it's degreased, then we're gonna go power wash it and move on with our day, which will probably start working on the front doghouse. So that is exciting. So let me get this warmed up a little bit and we'll put some degreaser on here. All right, and we are back from the car wash. That seemed to work pretty well. However, it looks like we are missing we did miss a little. So all I have here is I took some brake cleaner and poured it in there, and then I have this old toothbrush. I'm just kind of scrubbing away any leftover grease, and that's actually working pretty dang well. So gonna try to get it just as absolute best I can, and then not much I can do after that point. So, and then we will get this primed and painted, reinstalled in the car, and then we can finally set the car back down on its wheels. All right, so now we got the steering box here hanging from just a sawhorse, and I'm starting to prime it. This took a long time to prep. I took like a pick, it looks like a dentist tool basically, and I was just getting in the grooves, and anywhere I saw grease, I got, and I tried my best, and it just got to the point where I couldn't keep doing it anymore. So now we're priming it, painting it, and my goal for today is to have the front wheels, like I said, right there, back on the ground. So, yeah. However, I think it was 2 days ago that I tried just putting it back on. I was having problems getting the end of the steering shaft back onto the splines there. So, yeah, I'm hoping I kind of don't have those problems again today. But I'll get back to priming this, and then we'll throw some paint on it and hopefully be good to go. We got new lights, so that's exciting because the old ones took up a lot of electricity and basically generated like the power of the sun. They got so hot. So got new lights. Anyway, if you look right there, it is reconnected. I did end up scratching the paint there, and you can't see because it's dark, but on the trunk, which is unfortunate, but no big deal. But I'm not gonna lie, this was a struggle to get in. So yeah, like I was fighting at that for a while. But hey, look at this. Ready for this? Oh, wait, hold on. So, I guess I'll just show you that. Look at that, it's turning. One thing I am noticing is it is a little hard to turn. And we are going to grease everything up, but my dad said let's wait until the car is painted. One thing though is before I even started this, my steering wheel was never on straight when the wheels were straight. And somehow I miraculously lined up the wheel straight with the steering wheel. So that's great news, but guess what? The wheels are going on next, and we're dropping the car for the first time in 2 months. Basically 2 months. This whole suspension, whole front end project was supposed to take like 2 weeks. And it took 2 months. So, yeah. But honestly, I love it. Look how great that looks. I'm going to be ordering the hoses that go from here to the brake lines up there for both sides. I'm hoping because of this whole virus going on, they'll still be here in a relatively soon amount of time, but we'll see. But no big deal because my e-brake works like a charm. So, but I don't plan on driving it soon. So, but let me get the tripod set up. Let me get my wheels and some other stuff, and this baby's going back on the ground. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys what my rims look like. So I picked these up at an auction a few years ago. These are actually the back rims because they're fatter in the back. The other two are stacked over there, so I just grabbed one of the back rims, but they are ETs right there. And I think it was like 16 or 17 when I got them, and I glass beaded them. And I didn't do the greatest job, so I want to glass bead them again. And then I'm going to polish this part and then paint this probably like dark gray. So let's see how they look up against here. Even if they so they don't fit perfect because you have to get the proper spacers, you know, because I think there's like 3 different sizes for like different whatever. But oh man, it's gonna look so sweet. I mean, you don't get the full effect because it's not painted or polished, and honestly I'm going to be putting disc brakes behind it, drilled and slotted, so those are going to look awesome. Let me just take a picture of that. Time to put on the actual spare rims that I'm using. They're just off like a Chevy S10. I can still hear sand kind of grinding in there. Mint. I just spent the past 2 months working on this, so I don't want to scratch anything, so I'm putting a towel down right there so I don't scratch the cross member. Oh, cool, you're just in time.
What do you need? See the drum roll?
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Springs probably relieve themselves.
Yeah, right? It does seem a little higher.
Yes, it does.
Bigger rims. What happens if I just... Oh, they seem stiff. Look at that. That's weird. Here, let me put this back on a tripod. So what happens if I... That's not the suspension moving, that's the rims. Right? There's like no suspension travel, it just stops.
That's good. Because if it goes like this,
Like the Buick?
then you know your shocks are bad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Oh man, this looks amazing. That was a lot of work. Holy crap. It was all just to replace the trunk floor, and then I went overboard. The wheels still turn. Yeah, they do, just not as easy. So it looks like everything needs to be greased up, and like I said, we're going to. but oh, that looks great. My mom's gonna be so happy that I can finally move the car over and she can park here again. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. I'm in a great mood now, and yeah, so I think tomorrow we are going to be renting an air compressor so we can start sanding, doing the air boards on the back, and just go to town on this over the next few days. Yeah, so with that being said, remember to like, comment, subscribe, give me your feedback. I'd love to hear it. I love reading comments, and I most of the time always reply to them. So yeah, and just, remember, stay healthy, everyone, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.